Hello, this is Tom Still from the Wisconsin Technology Council. Thank you for joining us for today's edition of WisBusiness.com, the show. The show is produced by the Tech Council in partnership with WisBusiness.com and with the help of our sponsors, BDO and Exact Sciences. Tom Still again. Welcome back to WisBusiness, the show. We have some events on our calendar of interest to you. We're going to introduce VC 414 May 11th in Wauwatosa at the UWM Innovation Accelerator. This is a new woman-led fund. We're also going to hear from Representative Dora Drake out of Milwaukee. We'll talk about just capital needs in general in Wisconsin. May 3rd in Osseo. This is the first in our series of Swift Entrepreneur workshops. These are designed to help people who may want to be an entrepreneur or just starting out, learn more about what it takes around launching, funding, and growing a young business of all types. So if you can't make it to Osseo or you're not in the area, we'll have a series of these kinds of workshops over the next year. Our Wisconsin Entrepreneurs Conference will take place May 31st and June 1st at the Italian Community Center in Milwaukee. It's really a celebration of all things entrepreneur, including the final presentations and the 20th annual Governor's Business Plan Contest and our annual Seize the Day Award for Entrepreneurial Excellence. On day 2 of that conference, Charles Ross, who leads the International Business Innovation Association, will speak about his work around the country and around the world. He's a Milwaukee native and Marquette grad. Next up, we'll hear from Michael Riechers from the Dane County Regional Airport. Welcome back to WisBusiness, the show. Again, I'm Tom Still from the Wisconsin Technology Council. Joining us today, Michael Riechers, who's the Director of Marketing and Communications for the Dane County Regional Airport, which otherwise goes by the call letters of MSN. Welcome, Michael.
Hey, Tom. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for being with us. Let's maybe start with some basics about the kind of traffic at the airport, flights in and out, passengers in and out, cities that can be reached, those kinds of things that are important to viewers.
Yeah, absolutely. So just the high level, Dane County Regional Airport sits on 3,300 acres. A lot of people don't know how big of a landmass we have actually on the north side of Madison. 5 commercial carriers. In 2023, we had about 1.8, just shy of 1.9 million passengers annually, which puts us comparative to pre-pandemic around the 2018 level. However, the first few months of 2023 are consistently our strongest months since the pandemic. So it's been a really exciting time here at the airport. We're definitely climbing out of the pandemic.
Excellent. Good news. And the airport just recently created a new position, Director of Air Service Development, which I think is important to people in this region. What will that person do?
Yeah, it's the first time this airport has ever had a position dedicated to it. So in the world of airports, air service development, it's basically business development, reaching out and visiting brand new airlines that currently don't service Madison or maybe even don't service the state, reaching out to new airlines and trying to strengthen the relationships with the airlines that we do have. So keeping the existing route, recruiting new routes.
Well, and the creation of that new position kind of really leads to my next question. Why is it important for area residents to use Dane County Regional Airport as opposed to some other choices they might make?
Ultimately, we understand our passengers want to see nonstop service. We understand the value of that to our customers. We want that as well. The value of using your airport is that's the number one thing. That's the first thing that airlines look at. We'll use Boston as an example. If we're knocking on Delta's door saying we want Boston service back, the first thing they're going to look at is how many people from Madison are going to Boston. And if they're connecting through Detroit or any other hub to get to Boston, that data is a pretty straight line. However, if our passengers are instead driving to a neighboring airport, really that's hurting us in 2 ways. That's telling Delta that, one, the demand isn't out of Madison, the demand is out of Chicago to go to Boston. And 2, you're conditioning Delta that our passengers are willing to drive to go get that service versus using their local airport to go to Boston. So We understand that it might be tempting to drive a little bit to get that nonstop service, but if you want the service out of Madison, we have to use it. We have to prove that the demand is coming out of Madison, that it's coming out of our airport. And that's what ultimately leads to service development.
Sort of a corollary to buy local, fly local.
Absolutely. In fact, we're very good partners with the Dane Buy Local because of that.
Okay. So let me ask you to let me look across the field a little bit for this next question. We know that some F-35A, really next gen fighter jets are coming to the Air National Guard base at Truax. Game changer in terms of all kinds of air defense reasons, but what does the presence mean to the airport itself and the local economy?
You know, the arrival of the new jets is a huge asset, not only to the airport, but the greater county in whole. Anyone who has been by the airport, particularly the east side of the airport, they've seen construction going nonstop for the better part of 2 years to prepare for the arrival of these new jets. The base is going through a transformation. A ton of resources are coming in, not only with construction jobs, but support jobs as well, for the anticipation of the new jets. And as many of your listeners and followers know, the Air National Guard fills a real mission here. They respond to threats in the air, and it's, like I said, exciting to have that housed right here in Madison.
Yes, very reassuring all the way around. Well, thank you, Michael Riechers, for joining us today.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Thanks again to our sponsors, BDO and Exact Sciences. We'll see you next time.